What's happening? Oh, the wrong camera. I should say, no, this is the right camera. Run on time, because I wanted to show my Millennium Falcon. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's the ticket, right? The Millennium Falcon, Godzilla. I never get to show them. I was doing some different stuff with my camera. So you can see that terrible picture. Good morning. Good morning, Interfleet. Otherwise known as the Tipsy Toaster. Welcome to the Saturday morning stream. It's usually more an upbeat stream. I still do the coffee. I'm matching today. I'm matching. It wasn't on purpose. It's just, you know. I gotta fix my camera stuff. I'm getting my head cut off a little bit. Oh yeah. I don't think I've had quite enough coffee. Yes, Hoovian. Quick story. It's a sappy story, so I'm just warning you. You'll probably go, ew. I got 61. My count is up to 61 now. But my subscriber didn't change. What's up with that? My subscriber didn't change. That's Tango Cash. But the other day, he was like the 60. There. I don't know. All right. I'll continue with the story. All right. Doctor Who. Very significant. My favorite song. Hold on. I set off. So, yeah. Me and the sweetie. When I started dating again, I decided to try the online dating route, and you know, I was doing as you do. You know, you're going through the profiles and you know, females in my area. So I came across attractive young lady. I won't say young, I mean, you know, attractive lady. And but her profile had numbers. Hey, the Jazz Show. What's up, Jazz? How you doing? Thanks for popping in. Do appreciate it. I just got started with a sappy story because I'm matching today with my, you know, my Doctor Who coffee cup and my shirt. So I'm matching today. George! Yes, you're just in time. I've started the story. All right, I'm going to continue the story now. When I had started dating, a couple of years ago, I was doing the online dating thing. I came across a profile on the dating site. I was perusing. Saw this attractive female. If no one's familiar with online dating or hasn't, had the pleasure or Jess was supposed to be at a street party, but it just started hammering down with rains. Oh. Well, hopefully it'll let up. Because, man, now is the time you want to get out to a street party, right? Just being able to get out to a street party these days is a luxury, right? So it's like, man. Okay, so continuing, I came across a profile. Now, you got to be careful when online dating. There are scammers, and it's like you'll come across a profile that says, "Hey, here's my number. Here's my number. Just go to this website." And it's like, no, I don't want to do that. So she was an attractive female with this number for her profile pic, and for her, yeah. That I can only imagine. Yes, the British weather did its thing again. So she had a number. It looked like a phone number, and I read the profile. No, you're perfectly all right, sir. Perfectly all right. I read the profile, and it talked about how her daughter doesn't think she's cool, and the first thing it said at the end of it, she said she's just looking for her man in the blue box, right? So I had scrolled past it, and then I was like, there's something familiar about that phone number that she had. It was, it was in her name. It wasn't like her phone number. It was like her profile name, so she didn't give a name at all. It was just, a number, and it was a phone number. There's something really familiar about that phone number. So I went back to the profile, and the number was 867-5309. A round of applause to the first person who knows what 867-5309 is. We'll play around at Jeopardy. 867-5309. Anybody? And there we go. Interfruit Broadcasting comes in with Jenny. Yes, Tommy Two-Tone song Jenny. So I reread her profile, and again, it was like man in the blue box. She's looking for a man in the blue box. Her daughter doesn't think she's cool, and and I was like, this is a clever girl. I said, this is a clever girl. So I replied back to, I messaged this person, and I said, yes, my daughter doesn't think I'm cool either, even though I wear red Converse tennis shoes, which I have a pair. I said, I drive around, or I travel around in a big blue box, looking for adventures, because at the time I had a blue minivan. So, I said, And I was like, so who's your favorite? You know, the 10th, 11th, or 12th? Or maybe it was, yeah, maybe 10, yeah, 10, 11, 12. What was it, 9, 10, or 11? I can't remember. I'd have to go upstairs to get the thing, because I've got, I put this whole thing on a one of our anniversary things of what I think, but yeah, and then I said, oh yeah, and I tried the number, but all I got was somebody named Jenny. Needless to say, that was all she wrote, because she messaged me back and we started dating. She said that was the most clever response I have ever gotten, because I guess she didn't feel like somebody would be able to get the reference to the blue box and, you know, the phone number, and I did. So, you know, so there you go, Interfleet. There's the ooh moment. You know, it's like ooh, you know, yeah. So that's the story. Then that's the significance of Doctor Who for me. I mean, yes, I'm a Whovian, although I have not watched like the whole latest last 3 seasons, because I don't have cable that gets the BBC, the Beebs. 6 years almost now. And thanks for coming. Thanks for listening to my story. I hope that didn't like scare anybody off. I do hope that, yes, I hope it clears up and you can get out of the house. For anybody lurking here, two folks in the chat, Interfleet Broadcasting and the Jez Show. The Jez Show does the show on Facebook, and he does some stuff on Twitch. Be sure to go and do a search for the Jez Show on Facebook and Twitch. Follow those guys over there. Follow him, and also Interfleet or the Tasty Toaster does Interfleet Broadcasting on YouTube. You guys do on Twitch too, Dipsy? Do you do the multi-stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch? If so, just go look for my. Oh, damn the bad luck, Jez. All right, well, hopefully. Keeping my fingers crossed that, Battlestar Galactica fan, are you, Jez, at all? Of the classic or the remake? Interfleet and those guys, yes, they do 70s, 80s sci-fi. It's very fun and entertaining. I am especially being in my 50s. Being in my 50s, I grew up around that time of the 70s, 80s sci-fi, so I can definitely relate. Okay, so today I'm just going to kind of go over what I like to do. This is kind of part of my what I do for a job is create motion graphics. We do a lot of simple stuff for clients. You know, if we don't want to go out and shoot footage and we just need a quick kind of background, fun little image, and just, you know, just a little something with some movement. I like grabbing images that from, you know, you could get stuff from Adobe Stock or any other place that you can download some good Illustrator files or vector format files. And just like with Photoshop, Illustrator, you can create layered files. And the thing with Illustrator is, since they are vector format files, and you pull them in Illustrator, you can resize them without loss of quality. Whereas when you're creating bitmap images, which bitmap images, you know, if you don't know, are, you know, images that are made up of just the little dots, little pixels. You zoom into these images, you can see the little squares of pixels that they're made up of, where vector format graphics are made up of fills and lines, and they scale. They can scale up and scale down without losing quality. So one of the things I do is I you know, we're gonna go for this Halloween kind of deal. Yeah, yes, the Bezier curves. Those can get quite you know, quite confusing. And even for me, I mean, I am proficient at what I do, but I'm at no means like a master at Adobe Illustrator. There's so much there. Any of these Adobe programs, there's just, you know, so much to deep dive into them on really, you know, taking advantage. I mean, you can master you master one program, you know, your whole life, to be really, really good at it. Let's see, where is I'm at projects? Here we go. This is the background. This is kind of this creepy, scary graveyard background. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this background, and then I'm going to take this, you know, cartoon skeleton guy. We're going to put him in the background and, you know, just give him a little motion. We're not going to get into any kind of doing any like major animation, because that's one of the things where I work is we're not Industrial Light and Magic. We're not going to create, you know, Jurassic Park or Star Wars, you know, style anime, or, you know, or the Pixar level stuff. We do local commercials. And you know, we want a nice commercial for them if they want some sort of graphics and motion in it. But, you know, it's like, you know, they don't have the budget for you know. So a lot of times we do just kind of simple things. But Illustrator files, just like Photoshop, have layers. And we can go to the layers. Let me open this up a little bit bigger. There we go. There's a layers panel. Actually, that is quite confusing if I do it that way. Let me do it this way. This pop out. There we go. It pops out singly. That's much better. Kind of make these bigger for you. Yeah. A little bit bigger. All right. So it looks like everything is this up in this top layer. And the thing about Illustrator is you have layers, but within those layers, they're like groups. And you just twirl down till you can see all the elements within that group. And sometimes there are quite a bit. Oh, share screen. There we go. You know, some people have problems with audio. Sometimes I forget to share my screen. Awesome. Awesome. So with our hero task of the day has been accomplished, delivering the drink to the wife. The rest of the day is cake, man. All right, let's go back. So I was opening this image up, and like I was saying, like Photoshop has layers. It's a compositing, it's an image editing and compositing tool. And Illustrator also has layers. These are all useless. There's nothing in these layers that I can see. So I'm going to just get rid of these layers. That'll make it less confusing. And you can there's like Photoshop, if you're familiar with Photoshop and the layers panel, there's a trash can icon down at the bottom, which you can't see because I'm covering it up. So now there you go. There's a trash can item down there in the bottom, just like in Photoshop. We turn that layer back on. I locked it. There we go. So if I twirl it down with the little greater than, less than symbol, the little arrow, pointy arrow thingy, the technical term, you could see that, you know, there are several other pointy arrow thing. That means there's more elements within that layer. And some of these, I mean, some Photoshop, Illustrator art, I mean, it's really complex. And so the idea is to separate these layers. Like if we're looking at it, we can see there's a dark foreground with some trees. Obviously, there's going to be a blue background. There's this moon. There's these trees in varying distance along with these graveyards, and we want to separate these elements because right now they are all in one layer there. And there's also what's called a clipping group, which a clipping group basically you can clip objects so that some items show and some things don't. Good example is let's go back to our guy here. If I wanted to, you know, clip his head off, I could take the ellipse tool, create a circle. Let me change the color to green so you can see it. And I just want his head. I can select them. You can either right click and make clipping path, or go up to object, and down at the bottom is clipping mask. And there, now I just have his head. The rest of them is still there. You know, in fact, I can select the clipping mask itself somewhere. and move that around. Oops. You're supposed to be able to. If I go over to the layer panel and I select it, you'll see there's the ellipse. If I select the ellipse, actually, I need to select him. That's what it is. I need to select him. There we go. Now I can move him around. I knew it was one thing or the other, but you select him and you can move him around within that clipping mask. So a lot of times you'll come across images that'll have, you'll see these clip group on there. I'm going to select that, go to object, and I can release those. And now you see, oh my gosh, look at all that, right? So the clipping mask was hiding all of that stuff that's on the outside, which is fine, The first thing I want to do right now is create a layer. I'm going to name that, let's say night sky. And within that night sky is going to be that background, that blue background, or that blue greenish sea green, blue sea green, something like that. And the moon. So on layers, when you click on a layer and select an object within a layer, you'll see these little squares come up, and they'll be color coded because sometimes, like, you can color code your layers. And then there's these little dots that you click on, and that lets you know that those two objects are selected within that layer. I'm gonna go up to the topmost layer, which is like the root layer, you'd probably call it. And you'll see there's a matching square up there. That just means there's something selected within this group, which you'll see down here. They're all selected. I'm going to then grab that top square and drag it up and then drop it. And now I've got those elements that were in the previous layer. See you later, Jazz. Hey, appreciate you hanging out and stopping by. Catch you later. Have a good time. Go have a good time. Give a wave to the wife. Hello, Mrs. Jazz. Enjoy yourself. Thanks. See ya. And thanks for the lurk. The Jazz Show. Go check him out. YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitch also. Does a bit of gaming, some sports on Twitch. An amazing production, I got to tell you. And it's a great community too. There's a lot of fun people within the Jazz network there. So we got our night sky up here. I'm gonna create another layer. I'm gonna hide my night sky there. I want the foreground trees, and it kind of looks like all those are in another group. Like I said, sometimes these groups will be like, oh my God, just full of these little, little shapes. So I'm gonna take that whole group. So I'm gonna click to the right of the little donut and select it, and then I'm gonna go back up to the top layer where I see this square, and I'm gonna drag that up to that layer up there, to the topmost empty layer, and then I'm gonna rename it by double clicking on it. I'm gonna name that foreground trees. It possibly let's okay, good. It zoomed in too much. Now we can take the direct selection tool. Let me make sure to turn on the background because you can see it better. We have the direct selection tool, which is the white pointer. And we could select on some of these, and I'm looking. For whatever reason, I am not seeing too many elements, but it is grouped. So let's see. Let's find this guy right here. This little path. Where is he? There he is. So yeah. So you do have some of these areas up here where they're, you know, you've got, yeah, a lot of separate elements around the edges. And some of this is like a compound path. And a compound path is basically bunches of smaller shapes that are kind of blended, not blended, but put together so that it creates a more intricate shape. You know, that you have these cutouts. Like I could probably drag that sucker around and it'll change. Oops. Go back to that. If I just select that one and then I select the pointer tool, I keep selecting it. But it's a compound path. If I were to go object, excuse me, goodness, release. See how it went all dark? That's because they're different shapes that are adding and subtracting to the overall shape. But right now you're seeing the shapes all separate, and we can Control Z to get that back. But like this inner line right here is a negative shape, right? That's a negative shape. It's actually knocking out, you know, the shape behind it and then creating all these little contours. So yeah. But for now, we're gonna leave them all as is and leave that as the foreground. Let's see, what else do we want? We want... I'm gonna get rid of the clipping mask there, okay. So we got a solo a solo gravestone that I actually want to put up into that foreground. I wanted to be part of that foreground. So I've got it selected, so I'm just going to drag up and put it in the foreground trees. And so now it's part of that foreground trees layer. Now, I could do that as a separate element, you know, but I'm not going to do much with it. I just want it to move all together with my foreground. Because we may try to do kind of a slow, you know, like you're actually walking through the trees. We'll see if we can't do that real quick. Maybe. Depends on how long it takes me to get all this separated. So here we go. You got all kinds of other, let's see, graveyard shapes. They probably use like, you know, one or two of these and then duplicated it and just changed the color. But we're going to keep those with their respective, you know, depth, or, you know, what do you call it? Landscape layer. We're going to create another layer, and I'm going to drag that behind it, and we're going to go and find, there it is, this kind of darker blue, which again, now as you can see, let me hide the top layer. You know, this layer also has, you know, several shapes within it that are not, they're not all one layer. They're each their own layer within that layer, like two trees and then the you know, the ground. Now you could actually make those one layer using the Pathfinder tool and creating using the Unite. And if you watch, you'll see the blue lines there, you know, the blue outlines. When I unite them, they disappeared. That means I've fused all those layers together as one shape. That kind of helps simplify things, because a lot of times if you're dealing with a lot of small shapes or different layers and shapes, it kind of, you know, your system resources start being used. So if you ever get if you use Illustrator and your system starts bogging down on something you're working on, it's because, you know, you're getting a lot of complex, you know, lines and details. And, you know, we could actually even go back to up here. Let's see if it'll do it. It may do it, it may not, because it may be complex. So nope, it did it. All right. Sometimes it's a crapshoot, especially if you've got a lot of stuff going on, but it now made that all one layer. So that's a good thing. And you could always undo if, yeah, that's a lot of like small details, and it's mainly around those edges. You know, if you wanted, you could delete some of that stuff and just simplify it. We'll try to delete some and see how much we lose. I don't think we're going to lose much. It's just smaller. Just the smaller details. Yeah, we're not losing much when we're getting rid of these, and this kind of helps simplify the whole. So let's see, can we want to shift click? There we go. So I just got rid of a bunch of stuff. And it didn't really take away from any of the detail. So, you know, and it simplified it really good. You know, we're simplifying things so we don't have a lot of unnecessary group. I'm going to ungroup. Nope, I can't. It says, maybe if I go here, object. Nope. Let's select it. There we go. Select it and ungroup. There wasn't really much group because I deleted all those other small details, so there was no reason to have it grouped anymore. So now we just got the one compound path. I think I might, you know, I might want to do something interesting with that moon. Let's leave it the way it is, just in case. But I do want to separate the night sky with the moon, because I'm going to move those separately. So I'm going to put the moon on its own layer. Moon. So when I bring that in, I can move that separate from the background. All right, so far we've got our foreground, we've got our moon, we've got our background sky. We want to grab let's turn that off. We want to grab our foreground here. I think we're going to call that mid, right? Mid-ground. And we're going to drag that up, and let's make sure we've just, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and unite the gravestones with that layer. Boom, there we go. And let's move that up. We're gonna move that up, and then we're gonna call this mid-ground. And here it says moon, move across maybe, or up, like right. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of do something subtle with it. All right, so we got our foreground, we got our mid-ground, our moon, and our background. Now we want to combine what's left in that layer. Let's get rid of midground. So this is all we have left. It's weird why that tree has nothing. Kind of an anemic tree. I don't like that. I don't like having an anemic tree there. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna duplicate this tree. Not letting me do what I want to there, so we're just going to go over here and select the tree directly. No. We'll do one thing. We're going to save this as Graveyard AE, because we're going to be using it in After Effects. I can then go back and file open and look at. No. It is a dead tree. All right, so you convinced me. I think maybe let's keep the dead tree. All right, we'll keep the dead tree. I was gonna do something different, but no, we're keeping the dead tree. All right, but what we are going to do is unite all those. So I'm going to go up to my Pathfinder, click on that unite icon. Now it's all united. All right. Go back to the layers. And really we just need, there's nothing else in there, so we just need to, you know, we got the foreground, midground, background, trees. Let's name that the midground trees. We're going to move that up so that it's in front of our, there we have it. So there we go. So we've separated our scene. We'll call it a scene, our little scene elements that we want. We're gonna work mainly in like 2D this time around. So we've got our scene. All right, let's save that. I'm gonna switch over to After Effects real quick. I'm gonna save first. I'm gonna save as. Let's call this Grimm's Graveyard. Man. So with After Effects, it's a compositing and animation tool. It's not really what you would call it's a video editing tool, although it has ways for you to clip up, you know, video. But, you know, hey, Zete! How are you today, Santhi? Or this evening, this morning, this evening? I'm still tired. I have not had enough coffee. I don't know what it is. I just. Ooh. In fact, before we get into this, I'm gonna go refill my coffee. I will be right back. Do not go anywhere. Chat amongst yourselves. For those who may not be aware, hey, George is still here too. George is coding. For those who are not aware, may not know, Xanthi does WordPress and Elementor tutorials, as well as vlogs. Very fun person, I gotta say. Very entertaining. You are knocking it out of the park, Xanthi, with the videos and the posts. I gotta say, it's really, really fun. You are ramping up the enthusiasm, the playfulness, the glasses. These are really bright. Oh my God. Even they are sunglasses, right? They're actually sunglasses, but you have to wear the sunglasses just to see yourself wearing these. Oh my God. All of your eyes must be burning right now because the yellow on these are so. Whew. Maybe we'll just. I haven't knocked the frames out, out of those yet. So this, or this, or this. I can't stop myself. I can't stop myself. Then there's these. Oh yeah. But we have the classic aviators. These aren't really, yeah, maybe they're I don't know. They're more like the classic highway patrol. Yes, Judge Grimm. I am the law. It's a funny thing you watch. It's a funny thing you mentioned that, George, because the other day I was actually watching Dredd, the Carl Urban version, which is way better than the Sylvester Stallone one. George, the code monkey extraordinaire. Also, you will also find him over with Xanthi in the chat. George does have YouTube, right? You have a channel, right? Right. I've kind of figured out why I don't get a wide audience about this time. Because Nick Nimmons is streaming. Must be why. That's okay. I just, I did not want to leave you out of the promotions part of this. You've been very helpful. I've appreciated your support here on my channel. So, I just want to throw out, don't sell yourself short, George. Sometimes that may be a good thing, especially in my case. You don't. It's like, don't be a grim. I often hear that. Don't be a grim. All right. Correct. Don't. Yeah. No, we did not get. Nope. XD is still not working. I left a post on the Adobe customer support. Well, it's like the, it's the forums where people help each other out when Adobe doesn't help you. And somebody suggested, go and start a chat with one of the agents. You may have to wait a bit and see if they can help. I haven't done that yet. No. Yeah, they didn't tell me to, like I said, I sat there in the post. I said, we've done all the steps. We've done everything. I posted my specs. I posted the error message we were getting. And the person just suggested, yeah, it sounds like you probably should, try to contact one of the agents through the help chat. He said, but it may take a bit for them to respond. You just got to be patient. So that's the next step. But I am not letting. I've moved on at this point. With the project that Xanthi and I are working on, so we can get going. I would love to use XD, but it's just not in the cards right now. So okay, so we just separated this file, this Illustrator file, this one. Oops, not that one. We took this Illustrator file, this scene, and we have separated it into elements or layers that are usable. We have a foreground, a midground, and then the background trees with the moon and then the colored night sky. Switch screen, yeah. What am I going to do when you're not around, Interfleet? What am I going to do? If you're not around to tell me that, I'm in trouble. Again, we took this scene, and we created the layers that we want to use. in Illustrator. Because I like using Illustrator files for some of this stuff because vector format is scalable. You don't lose, resolution. When you can bring it into After Effects and it retains its vector scalability. There's numerous other advantages to using pulling vector images into After Effects because you can create layers. I got the files from Adobe stock, but there is a site called FreePick. That's free pick with a K, folks. Free pick with a K, right? freepick.com. Do not go to free pick PIC. Do not go to free pick with PIC. Free pick with a K, PIK.com. I'm warning you now. You're going at your own risk. Disclaimer, I gave fair warning. Not judging. You may like it at Free Pick. Not going to judge. But if you're looking for, images you can use to, for your creative endeavors, you want to go to Free Pick with a K. Oh yeah, I did it at work. I did that at work. I accidentally typed in free PIC and I was like, we'll bookmark that for later. No, I did not say that. I did not say that. That's inappropriate of me. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. Well, unapologetically me, right? Is that what we're saying? Male. Okay. So we've separated this. Free pick. Free pick. We have separated our layers here into our scenes. This will allow us to put some motion in it when we bring it into After Effects. I'm going to go through the same process real quick with our character. Let me just get back to where we were in the first place. All right, so we got Mr. Skeleton here. We may have to go through a few, do some extra things to him. But let's go ahead, and we've got them all selected. I'm going to ungroup. And wow, look at that. Look, there, that is a lot of, there's a lot of paths in there. Woo-hoo. So a lot of these looks like we got his face going on, right? That looks like that group is his main body, it looks like. His pelvis area down there. So we are going to, I want to separate his head from the rest of his body. Let's see, there's a compound path, that is a compound path right there. He is joined. This one's going to be tricky. Tricky. So one of the things we may be doing here is more masking than trying to separate on layers. We may do this to where we create a layer, we take his whole body, that's the Interfleet. That's very complex because there's a lot of factors that are going to go into that. And I can definitely show you how it's you can do it with Illustrator. You can bring JPEGs into Illustrator, but yeah, I can show you that. But you'll have to, I'll have to see what kind of JPEG you're talking about, because sometimes you just can't. Or it's not gonna, it's not gonna turn out the way you think. I'll get a real world example. I will give you is here's a real world. I'll give you a real world example right now. I'll do this right now. A client of mine recently gave me a PNG, which a PNG is just, it's a JPEG. They're both bitmap images. Yes, squirrel, exactly. It's all your fault. Projects, clients. Okay, so I'm going to create a new empty Illustrator file. I usually use just 8.5 by 11 artboard at first. So this unknown client of mine gave me this. An old logo of his. And this is a JPEG. This is a JPEG. This is a JPEG file. See how jaggy it is? It is a bitmap file. To my own Photoshop. Okay, come on. I think Photoshop's mad at me because of Canva. There we go. Because I had Canva open, I think it was mad at me. It felt jealous. I was using Canva a bit too much. So, all right, I've opened it up in Photoshop. And then as you can see, as I zoom in, you see the pixel grid. So it is a PNG file. They weren't sure if they had the vector format somewhere. They may have. They said, oops. Now, understand this is a very, very simple, well-defined logo Very few gradients in it. You know, solid colors. My favorite song is now playing. I'm going to try to find something that's not a good example also. Which I may not be able to find a good example, bad example here. And that's the question. Is it like a logo that you're wanting to create a vector file from? You know, because like any image like this, it's, you know, I'm not saying you can't create vector art from this, because you can. That's when you're getting into the kind of, you know, using the Bezier curves and actually having to go in and create, you know. You should go drop that in my DMs on drop that in my DM on the guild so I can look at it. But like I said, the client gave me this PNG image. As something possibly to use. Illustrator has what's called image trace. And if you pull any image into Illustrator and you select it, you will get a button up here at the top, the linked file, embed, edit original. It gives you image trace. Now, there's a drop down which gives you presets. You know, if it's a high fidelity photo, and when you select those presets, it actually sits there and it'll do it'll do the results. It'll do the image tracing. And if you notice, you know, that was pretty darn good. Right? I don't know if you noticed. Here's the, let's do this too. Let's create a copy of it. High fidelity photo. I mean, you don't see much change, but if you start zooming in, you'll kind of see, look, we don't have jaggies anymore, right? But, you know, I'm noticing a few things in here. There's subtle colors you don't see. So what I did is I went to 6 colors, because there roughly is only 6 colors in here, like 1, 2, 3, you know, 4, 5, 6. Did I count the flesh tone? I think I did. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's about 6 colors, right? So I went ahead and used the 6 colors. I'm going to Control Z. I'm going to select it. Six colors. It'll do its thing. Now, one of the things, it's calculating all this, and if you've got a lot of detail, man, it just starts throwing lines in there and things. I've not been able to ever get something to like be just exact. Okay, you're going to possibly lose some sort of detail somewhere. You can get relatively close, but you got to have a good quality image to do that. Well, like I said, drop that logo in my DMs on the guild, and let's see what we can do. Once you get close, right there, you can also mess around with the presets, with a lot of this stuff, but I'm not going to sit here and go over that too much because it's a lot of trial and error. But this logo is very simple. So I got my image trace. I go up here and hit expand. That basically takes that image trace and then creates all the shapes within that, right? So, all right. So now that you can see all the lines, right? You see all the lines and the points and stuff. So it's now a vector image file, and it doesn't do a bad job, right? If the logo is if it's a high. There are times when clients will, hey, here's this the only logo I have is this one off the web, and it's like 10-year-old JPEG that they've copy and pasted about 5. It's like a VHS dub of Battlestar Galactica on a 5th generation dub. It's so there's artifacts all in it and everything. It's like so sometimes you just can't get it. That's not a bad one. I think we can come pretty close. Now that I've got this all, in vector, I can go in, I can ungroup it. I can ungroup things. I can then select, pieces and get rid of the stuff I don't need, But like I said, it's not always perfect because now I've got this line here, so I can go in with the knife tool. Well, first you got to make sure it's selected, and then the knife tool. And I can get rid of that part that, you know, I don't want. There's still this white part. This white halo. Like, I get rid of that, you know. His hair's separated. We, you know, separate the beard, you know. Get rid of all the skin tone stuff if I want. And again, I can go in with the knife tool. Oh. I'm really going down the squirrel hole. I gotta be careful what I click on because there's stuff I'm working on is top secret for a lot of clients. What have you done? What have you done to me? So there you go. It's like, you know, that's the basics, right? Taking a logo and you can create a whole new logo, which I did. I'm going to save that. That's fucking phenomenal. Spell squirrel. Squirrel logo. All right. So we got this other contender here. Two megabytes. That's a pretty good size file. I like it. I like it when I get big files. That's what she said. A lot of detail, a lot of definition. All right. Good solid colors. Let's pick a copy. Save as. You know, because don't want my clients' identities being known. All right. Got at least 3 colors of gray in here. So what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna say it's probably about 16 colors. If we try a high fidelity photo, yes, we are tracing slowly. Not as slow. I see what you did there. I mean, yeah, I think it did pretty good. Now that's the high fidelity. So there's going to be a lot of extra details in there. Let's see if we can go with the 16 color. I don't see much I don't see much of a change. Well, that part is easy. I mean, when you've got good file to work with, that part is easy. You know, but man, look at all that. Look at all those. That's a lot of elements. But I mean, it's like a carbon copy. So, you know, that's a good logo to work with. Let's see. Oh. So here's kind of the dilemma you have, right? All right. So if I select the black, it's going to select all the black because it is all pretty much just one. You know, one color there. You know, one shape. So I'm going to do, let's try that. I'm going to try something here. We're going to grab all the black. Pull it down into this, yeah, where it's hidden. But now, I'm going to pull those up into. So now we have an arm. All right, we got an arm there, and we're going to use another technique. We are totally off the rails here. That I use. It's the path. We're going to offset. Notice how it made it bigger there, right? We don't want it that big. We just want it maybe 4. And let's make it round. Wait, let me do one. I want to do one thing here. All right. I'm looking at the thickness of the lines, right? So again, I'm going to go over here. We're going to go up to object. We're going to go down to path. We're going to offset the path. And we're going to do that. Let's do that. Let's try 3. Let's try 3. Let's try 3 at first. All right. I think 3's good. It will make it round. And hit OK. All right. That created an offset path. What I'm then going to do while that stuff is still selected, I'm going to unite it. I'm going to unite it. You see it turned one color. But the thing about it is we still have all the other detail. It just created this one shape and grouped it. Right? All that other stuff is still there. I'm going to select that layer and drag it down to the bottom. All right. Now, even though it's got that crappy color, right? That's okay. We can go and turn that color to black. It looks really, it looks terrible. It looks terrible. It looks terrible. But that's because there's gaps. So we want to go back, right? Let's go back. All right. We're going to go back. And we're going to do that again. And this time we're going to go up to 4. Right. Let's go up to 4. So keeping it round. Hit OK. I'm going to go ahead and unite that, and then I'm going to turn it black. Oop, not black. I'm going to go back. Okay, so you got this little guy right here. What is he? And where is he coming from? We'll take care of him in a minute. Back to the layer. Where is it? Okay. We're going to drag that path down to the bottom. Come on. Drag, go, gadget layer. All right, what happened? Something happened. I did something wrong. All right. Did something wrong. All right. We're missing some pieces. We're missing some pieces. Okay, there we go. That guy's not there. Why? Where is he? He is not where he's supposed to be. Drag him up to the little arm layer. All right. Oh, there's some more. Did you see that? There's some more pieces that I missed. Grab them. All right, I think I got the whole arm this time. All right. Okay. Grab that object. Path, offset path. It's at 4. Three just doesn't seem to be enough. 4, okay, I'm gonna say okay. Unite it. Turn it into black. Drag it all the way down to the bottom. That looks better. That looks sharp. I mean, you can't tell. You could almost can't tell, can you? You know, few differences. That's okay. So, what do we got to do now? Well, you know, we got some. We still got a lot of work to do. A lot of cleanup work. Because, you know, or maybe not. Let's look at something. So, okay, I'm going to do this. It's not going to look pretty at the moment, but, you know. I set the registration point there. It's like, you know, there we go. That might work. Remember, because we'll turn on the black, but, you know, And then we'll have that we can do his eye go back and forth. Hey! Amazing Peter Gaming! Hi, Miss Amazing! Heart spatulas. Or the heart's rice spoon. How's it going, Peter? How are you guys doing? I gotta tell you, you've got to catch Amazing Peter Gaming. Especially, well, the Miss Amazing is you know, their streams. It awesome. On Twitch, look for the Miss Amazing, right? The Miss Amazing. Search for the Miss Amazing. The Miss Amazing. Does cooking streams. They had peanut butter milkshakes the other day. Oh my gosh. I haven't gotten over that. But okay, so yeah, you know, potential here. You know, we can get the arm going back and forth, you know. Okay. Back to, let's get back on track here. Well, thank you, whoever just bought me. It didn't say. Thank you for the buying me sushi, a sushi roll. If that was you, Interfleet, now I feel obligated to finish it. Which I'll do at some point, just not right now. Yeah, this is a time-consuming one. All right, I've saved it. Let's. I'm gonna close that file. So we're gonna go back to our Skelly guy that we're gonna put in our, you know, our graveyard here. I'm gonna close that one. I'm gonna save as Skelly. He's the Skelly. All right, so I'm gonna do something a little different with this guy because there's a lot of this is a different path setup. You know, all of this stuff is connected, but that's okay. That's what we can do. We will make a copy of him. Now you can duplicate him and move him to another layer when you've got something selected, and you see this little square. If you alt-click on it, you'll see a plus come up, and then you can drag it up to the new layer. So now we have, you know, two of them. So the first one we're gonna say this is his head. I am gonna animate Skelly a little, not a lot. I'm not gonna do like a you know, a walk cycle or anything. But we're gonna kind of do a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of an animation with him. So I am going to take my pen tool with the head layer selected. I'm going to make sure that that nothing is selected, but that I am on that layer by having it, you know, the gray selection there. I'm going to use red. Well, no, actually, I don't want a fill color. I want my stroke to be red. And I'm just gonna bump it up to about 3 points. I'm gonna select my pen tool. I'm gonna click and kind of give it a little rounded edge there, but then I'm just going to kind of go around his head. And then I'm going to complete it. And what I want to do is, because I got a curve on there, I'm going to use my direct selection tool and select some of the points and pull them down enough to where sometimes the points are so small you can't see them. I'm going to take this, and I'm actually going to take this and put that right about there, and take this, put it out about there. And then with that one selected, I'm going to drag the handle. Oops. Like I said, sometimes it's hard to select. I'm going to grab a handle, and then put the curve right about there. That way, see? And I'm gonna go. Gimme. There we go. I'm gonna add another point with the pen tool. You select the pen tool and click on your Bezier curve. Yeah. Add another point. Oop, it didn't add it there. It's a plus sign. I'm going to add that there. I'm going to go back up to my path there. Let me go back and make sure I select my path. I'm going to bring it down to basically the hairline, because I want to get that as close to the edge as possible. I think I can go in and there's something in here. I can change my points to be bigger. And it did. They're all a little bigger now. If I select that line, you can actually see them a little bit better. Nice. I am then going to drag that up just along there. This guy, I don't want him to have a handle on it. Oop. I don't want a handle on it. So, you can go to your pen tool and select the anchor point tool, and I'm going to click on that. That creates a just a kind of a right angle instead of a curve. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And inadvertently, if you click on a anchor point, it'll create you a nice little curve. In fact, I might leave it that way, and I'm gonna hold my control key to let me select that point and then drag it out a bit and then put it there. That way I can go back and select this these handles and match that curve there. The same thing here. I'm gonna move that curve up to there. All right. Let's make sure that, yeah, okay, so. One of the things, I've got my path, which is that, but all of the stuff underneath it, I'm going to sit here and group. And I'm going to select it all, and then object and group. Oops, that's because I did not have them all selected. I'm going to select it all. I'm going to uncheck. Woo! All right. All right. You know, selection is hard. I don't want you selected. I want everything else selected. Why must you be so difficult? Well, let's do this one. Boom. All right. I hit it. Holy cow, George. I'm so glad I can be of help. My voice is probably so annoying that it causes you to want to focus more on the coding than to my voice. So I'm glad I can be of service. Fortunately, my coffee's starting to get cold. Okay, so again, I have the path I created hidden, so I can select everything. I am then going to go and group. All right, now I've got two groups. I got my main group, my skelly guy, and then I've got my my mask, right? The path, which is my mask. I'm gonna select, make sure they're both selected. I'm then gonna go up to Object, Clipping Mask, and Clipping Mask, and Make. All right, now we got a head. How to get ahead with Grim. Now, if you zoom in, you see we've got these little kind of, areas here. So we will actually go into the clipping mask and we will look at these points again, right? There's one. I want to bring this point. Yeah. I want to bring this point over. Bring this point out. I'm moving the whole thing around. That is not what I want to do. Select my clipping mask. Sometimes you can't see it, but if you select it, get a good idea of where it's at, and then click off and then go back with your direct selection tool. You can click on it. And now I'm going to go there. I'm going to bring that point back over here. If I pull this in, again, it's a lot of fine tuning. Then I'm going to grab this point. I'm going to bring that way over here. Zoom in, bring it down just a bit. Drag this point in. And even if I cut some, I'll move off. Now you see I've got this little black guy, black, part sticking out. Just take that and pull it up just a bit, like that. There we go. Woohoo! Now we have a little skeleton head. And when I take it into After Effects, I'll, you know, put a little registration point, and then, you know, do a little, hey, how you doing? Yeah. All right, let's do the body. We're gonna do the body. I'll create a layer, select that. I'm gonna duplicate it like we did. Like I said, you wanna select it, then Alt, click and drag up, and then I'll create another duplicate up there. I'm gonna turn that one off. I'm gonna turn the head off because, you know. And once again, we're gonna do this. I am actually, this time around, I'm going to select everything and go ahead and group off the bat. And then we'll take our pen tool, go back to our pen tool. You press P, it'll take you to your pen tool. I don't use that enough. And I'm kind of got to do this rough selection here real quick. First, let's just make sure we go back and make that red. Right. Select the path. We're going to make that red because we want to be able to see it. Come on. Give me my path. Bastards. I'm going to take it, down to 0.25. So now we got our nice little red outline there. Again, go back to my pen tool. If you are creating, if you're creating a path in Illustrator and you actually click off the path, you can go back with your pen tool and just click on the point that you want to join. You'll see that little slash come up, and now you're connected. All right, now one of the things I want to do is you can hold your control key and I'll bring the direct selection tool up. And you can move points as you're creating them. But I want to go here and here. All right. We got our path, we got our group, we're going to select them both. And then now another way is you can right click within the window and do make clipping mask. Boom. Now we got our body. Two areas, well, a couple areas we want to, it's this hip area and then the neck area, right? There's two areas we want to address. And I'm going to create a point here. I'm going to create a point here. And a point here. And then I'm going to drag this point up, and then I'm going to when you're on your pen tool, you can also click, like I said, Control for your direct selection, and then Alt will bring up that what do they call it? I can never remember. Yeah, the anchor point tool. The anchor point tool. So you got direct selection, You got your pen tool, direct selection, and anchor point. I'm clicking on that, and a lot of times I never remember which way to drag, but you know, just go if you get that, just go the opposite direction with a crossover like that. So I am gonna go out like that, and then I'm gonna click on this one, and there is no, that's a right angle, so I can do that. I can click and drag with the anchor point tool, right? And then with the anchor point tool, again, I can grab the handle and then move the handle separately. And I'm kind of move that up here. Because what I'm doing is just getting rid of these, you know, things that are hanging over the edge. Because eventually, one of the legs is going to sit on top of that. So I want something for it to sit on top of that'll give it kind of a look that it belongs there, right? So I'm going to move the anchor point here. I'm going to move this in some. I'll move this point down here so that I can move this up here. There we go. I think if I move this one down just a little bit, I don't think, yeah, I'm not cutting. Well, I did kind of cut that off. And there's nothing wrong with adding more anchor points as you need them, right? So do that. I just got to go up here. You know, I'm doing it simply, kind of simple, as few anchor points as possible. The more anchor points you have, of course, you know, the more you got to worry about. But I'm gonna let's put one here. That way we can kind of move this one. I'm not quite touching it. There we go. Why? There it is. All right. Move that over there and then move this up into the corner. Boom. Create another one right there. We're gonna have the same thing right here where I'm just gonna create one right before this one so that I can then move this one up, right? And then I'm going to create one there and then one in the middle, and then I'm going to drag it up. Anchor point tool, create curves. Then you can drag the handle separately if you need to. Either way, it's just kind of rough. Just don't hurt yourself, Interfleet, you know, by watching too intently. So we got the neck area here. Back to the pen tool. I want to create a curve. There's color here already. There's this black here already. So I kind of want to just use that to my advantage. And I'm just going to create some points. Add a little bit of curvature to it. Try that again. So now it creates this kind of neckline. A weird kind of artifact going on there. Same thing there. Okay. So we do have a couple more areas. But like, we can add our head back, but now you see it kind of just is seamless now. I create my rotation point, you know. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna go get rid of these kind of little stray areas. Let's always name your layers body. I'm naming that the body. Don't forget to name your layers. What time is it? All right. This may have to go to part 2. Tomorrow. Blame Interfleet. All right, so I'm going to select my clipping path there just to make sure. It's kind of hard to see. I really want to change it to a different color, but I'm not going to right now. Pen tool, I'm gonna create, gotta get right on it. Plus, all right, there we go. Let's then drag that. I'm gonna drag that to there. Then I'm gonna create another one right about here. And then right in the middle, I'm gonna drag it up. Give it a little curve, drag it back down. There we go, our little jaggies are gone there. Create a point there, drag it to about there. Create another point, drag it to about there. The middle, do another point. Let's use the anchor point tool, put a little curve on it. Drag it up just a bit so that it gives that, you know, that curve. There. Now we got a body. I'm gonna go down here. We're gonna group all that. That way we don't have to keep doing that with the next parts. Okay, so we got a head, we got a body. We need some arms and legs. That's one way of doing it. There's a lot of compound paths going on. There's a lot of, that's a lot of cutting. I'll just make a layer there and then I'm gonna drag that up. And let's try. Let's try. That black layer right there, I think it's like it's one. I feel like it's one layer. It is a compound path that. Let's grab the knife. Yeah. That could work. There you go. And therein lies the dilemma, right? Masking is just a way to use a shape. You can use your pen tool to kind of create an area around an area that you want revealed while the rest of it is concealed. Good example is, see, the body is still there. I've just created this path around the head so that the body isn't there. It was just an easier route for me to go than to sit here and try to figure out how to pull all these separate. Because look, I mean, there are a lot of compound shapes. So it was just easier for me to create them to mask out what I want. But, we created that, we just clipped that arm, right? We did just clip the arm. But now we need to grab all the white parts. And the black part. I did clip that, right? I did, right? There we go. I missed some. God bless America. Group. There we go. There's an arm. There you go. Done with the knife. That's a what? Now, when you're facing somebody, that's their, yeah. I'm kind of, it's really the right, but I call it the left because I'm facing them. Left. And here's the good thing about that, right? I don't have to go through that whole process again. I'm going to use the mirror tool or the reflect tool. Yeah, reflect tool. Now I got two of them. Boom. Now he just needs some legs. Right now he doesn't have a leg to stand on. I'm gonna heat up some coffee. Be right back. Alrighty. All right. Where were we? A little disembodied scully guy there. All right. Glad to be back. Heated up the coffee. Never as good as the fresh pot, but you know, I need to make a bigger pot because my kid came in and drank the rest. What's the saying? It's like if you kill it, you gotta, you know, gotta make another one. Well, now that Interfleet forced me to do something totally different than what I was trying to do. So there was two ways you could do this. You can mask out your areas, then you can use the knife tool. The reason I was masking because, man, it kind of looked complicated to be able to go in and cut things out. Because sometimes paths, you cut something and then you're not quite getting the shapes all together. A lot of times it's easy to drag separate elements to their own layers. This one, it's a lot of what do you call it? You know, compound paths in there, right? See all those points, but we're getting there. We've got a head, we've got a body, we've got two arms. We need some legs. And since we already started chopping up this dude, you know, can we chop him up? Let's chop him up. Chop him up here. Chop him up here. Oh. Oh, my cut didn't go through down here. There we go. But this guy's, let's see, we got to ungroup him. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so that's ungrouped. Then go and select all that. So yeah, you know, you could cut him up. Cut them up real good. Go in here and get rid of these points. What happened? Look, and see, there's something. There's a kind of an what I mean when sometimes, man, it does funky things. And maybe we need to go in and reconnect these points. Maybe not. I don't know. What is going on with that? Go to that point. Well, yeah. Wow. Wow. Yeah, see, this point does not seem to be connected to anything because you have this The little slash is showing up, not the minus. So it's these 2 points aren't connected. So we're gonna, let's click on that one, and then we'll click on this one. That joined those points, so that's good. All right. Now if I go back over here, that should, there we go. All right, and that one's not connected to anything. For some reason. Oop. But if I get rid of it, yeah, okay. So that's not connected. All right, there we go. So now we're a double header. I said now we're a double header. A double, yeah, never mind. We want legs, though. That's what we want. We want to go down to the legs. Legs. And here's where it may get tricky. Maybe. We're going to try this Interfleet. We're going to be down here. We're going to grab the knife tool, and then we're going to slice there. And slice here. I'm going to delete that one and delete that one. How are we? We will connect those. Yes, now those are connected. Let's go here. Like a tripod? I've already had my one inappropriate comment for today. I am not going to this is a family show. Not really a family show. Going to connect those two. All right. What? I was man, I was mad at myself because I didn't Yes, I know. I'm upset. It got busy at work yesterday, and by the time I realized what time it was and saw that you had streamed, I was like, damn it. I'm sorry. I am failing in so many ways this week. I just can't. I don't know if I should continue in my Okay, we're gonna do another quick squirrel here. I don't know. It's a vent deal. Okay. At work, a couple years ago, they switched our pay app, right? You know, the where you go and look at your hours, or you put in your hours, from one software to another. Somehow, a large group of people, well, where I live and where I work is in two different states. So there's some kind of tax kind of thingies, and I'm not great at tax thingies. But I mean, for years, everything was going fine. And then they decided to switch us over to some new, you know, bookkeeping app, you know, to track our hours and stuff in the process of them switching over, they did not switch some city tax stuff over. It did not transfer over from the old stuff to the new one. So for almost a year, people were working and not having city taxes taken out, you know. And then when they finally notified us, we all switched it over. You know, I switched mine over, you know, or you know, figured out how to do it because it was kind of convoluted to get it done for some reason. So then recently we got an email from our GM saying, hey, you know, the city that we work in said, hey, you owe us taxes to the, you know, our company. And, you know, and they said, okay, well, we'll pay the taxes. And they worked some deal out where they didn't have to pay any penalties or whatever. Then they turn around and go say, oh, but by the way, employees, we need to recoup those taxes from you guys, even though it wasn't your fault. We're gonna now, you know, take money from you, even though we screwed up. That's my feeling. You know, I didn't switch the software over. You know, I didn't hire people who, you know, I didn't make sure things were done properly so that, you know, the employees weren't affected. You know, and now they want to take a big chunk of money, like for like so many weeks, out of my paycheck. What's up, Midnight? It's wet. It's very rainy. It's rainy outside apparently. So yeah, I'm kind of miffed because it's about $500 they want. I'm not really happy about that. And I don't know what to do. Mainly I'm mad because for years I've worked overtime, put in extra hours on projects and not put time down because, you know, they always frown on, you know, oh, you're not managing your time well, you know. And it's like, well, no, maybe it's because you're giving me, you know, projects, you know, with you know, deadlines that are not realistic, or, you know, maybe if you quit giving me 5 projects to do and what takes, you know, time to do only 2. Needless to say, I kind of feel they should pay. They should pay for, you know, they should, you know, eat the cost of that. All right, rant over. Okay. We're going to cut this leg up. Oh my God, yeah. I mean, I could kind of just start getting rid of, you know, all this extra stuff. I didn't even need to cut that other leg because, you know. I'm gonna get rid of the extra head. Don't need that. Boop. Let's group that one. I'm gonna go to this one and group that one here. We're gonna use that reflect tool again. And that leg's in the good place. We're gonna put this leg in a good place. I want to take all of these and put them over the body. Not in the body. Over the body. There we go. There we go. Got our little skelly guy all cut up, looking sharp. I'm going to show you how I bring these into After Effects, but after that, I think I'm going to end the stream, and I can come back. We'll come back tomorrow and show you how to animate it in. Let's save that. There's a few. The After Effects you can animate in After Effects. You can also use Adobe Animate, which used to be Flash, Macromedia Flash, and then Adobe Flash, and the Flash was, sunset as a web animation, HTML5 and stuff. Then there's a thing called Character Animator by Adobe, which I'm going to be messing with here in some streams soon. I'm familiar with After Effects, and I like using it, and it does what I need it to do. Believe it or not, a lot of like 2D animation these days are done in 3D animation programs. Like, if you can believe it, like South Park, one of the most famous, just kind of animated series that is done in, I believe, Maya, or one of the bigger. There's another one out there. I mean, for me, that's and the only reason I'm good at it is because that's the kind of the career path I chose. And I work with it every day. Dr. Elo, getting ready, heading to Puerto Rico. How are you, sir? Thanks for stopping by. Real Illusion. Yeah, I mean, there was... oh my God, what? Blender's the open source, of course. Maya, like I said, Autodesk, 3ds Max. Adobe has a couple. Fuse, I have not messed with that too much. Adobe's come out with a couple of different 3D deals. Cinema 4D is the one that they use in broadcast. That's the one I use at work. But yeah, Maya was the big one. I've not messed with ZBrush. Houdini, I've not messed with that. Cinema 4D, that's the software I use at work. Call of Duty. 3ds Max was the big one in the day. Moto, I've never messed with that. Lightwave 3D was the other. Cancel. There was Lightwave and Maya back in the day was the two big ones. But like I said, Blender's you can get that. That's free software, and that's something I've been meaning to mess with. Houdini, Wings, you know, there's lots of 3D animation choices. So, like, you know, for 2D animation, Toon Boom I've heard of. Synfix 2, that's a free thing. I might look at that, you know. Pencil 2D, Open Tunes. Adobe Animate. But Adobe also has like Character Animator, but it's Character Animator is you don't create the characters in that. You can animate characters that you have created, like in Photoshop and Illustrator. All right. So we got our characters, we got our character, we got our scene. I'm gonna go to Adobe After Effects. I'm gonna go to my project window. I'm gonna double click in there and import. And the first thing I'm going to import is my scene, my Graveyard AE. Now, there's various ways you can import it. You can import it as footage with merged layers. If I click OK, that just brings it in as one file. I'm going to create a composition. Graveyard Skelly. 1920 1080, leave it at 30 frames per second. We're just gonna let's do just kind of a 10-second, you know, animation deal. I'll leave everything else the same. But yeah, if you bring it in as just footage, it's just a flat image. Obviously, it's really, really big. So if you press S while the layer is selected in the timeline down here, we can scale it down. But really, this is not what we want. This is not what we want, because I'm going to import Skelly with the same import settings. I'm going to drag him down to the timeline just above. And, you know, there's Skelly on our background. Drag this down a little bit. But, you know, there's only two things you can do. You put it behind him or in front of it, you know? I can't animate him. He's all one layer. That's all one layer. And that's not gonna do any good. Because we want to have him come like, you know, behind the trees and, you know, maybe walk around or move around behind stuff, but we can't do it because these are all flattened layers. So we're going to just delete those. I'm going to click import. First, let's go to Skelly. We're going to go to Skelly. I'm going to click import, but I'm going to choose composition. I want my footage as layer size. So composition, layer size. It's going to bring in two things. It's going to create Skelly on this composition layer, which you can't see because, you know, I'm covering it up like an idiot. Which we can bring that down, and it treats him like he's all one layer. Or we can actually double click on his composition. And now all his parts that we created are there and separate. So we can click on it. We can go to his head, right? See ya, Lilo. Have a safe trip. And I'm gonna do something here. I'm going to create another mask. I'm gonna mask his head so that when I click on it now it's just his head here, right? And then there's what's called a registration point on any given layer. This little circle bullseye target. I'm gonna use my Y and hold my Y key down, and then you'll see like if you're on your pointer tool and you hold your Y, you'll see it changes to a solid black arrow with that little 4 arrows thing next to it. I'm going to click it, and I can drag that registration point. I'm going to drag it down to like where his neck would be. And what registration points let you do is set like the rotation point. So now if I want to rotate this if I hold R, or actually it's for After Effects, if you want to rotate something, the keyboard shortcut is W. Because R is for something else, so they have W. So you'll see the little rotation symbol come up. And now you see how his head kind of can go back and forth. So what I'm going to do is set all the registration points on each of these layers. Like for his limbs, I'm going to set it there. For this limb, I'm going to go set this one up on his shoulder. His legs. Where'd it go? There we go. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can... Oops, it's playing. If you hold the, like with any Adobe software, when you're on the canvas, if you hold down your space bar, it brings up the hand tool so you can move the canvas around. Hit the Y key again. I'm going to move that up to here. Or maybe right here, maybe in the middle of the socket. Maybe we want to do that. That way, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe let's see that Y key and right there. That's a little better. Our arms will do the same thing. Yeah. So got Skelly here. I'm going to do a couple just kind of looping style animations. Right now, let's make it about 3 seconds. On each of these layers down here, if you hold Alt and then the right bracket tool, you can trim. Trim them down. So what I'm going to do is start setting some keyframes. First, I want his head. What? I think we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that right now. We're going to do that tomorrow. I want to bring in my background. I'm going to bring in the background. Oop, where did my background go? We're going to do the same thing. Import. It's going to be composition. We want layer size. And again, it brought in the graveyard AE. I'm actually going to go to graveyard Skelly here and delete Skelly there. And I'm going to delete this composition here. And I'm going to take graveyard AE and I'm going to double click or select it and then hit enter and then say graveyard yard. Where's my R? Skelly. I'm going to go to my composition because I'm going to set that. It's now like 5,000 by 3,000. I want that as 1920 by 1080 at 30 frames per second. So we're going to go to HDTV 1080 30 frames per second. I'm going to select all my items within there and I'm going to scale them down. As you see it start shifting things around. That's okay. I'm going to turn off my night sky. Oops, I didn't want to turn off everything. I'm going to deselect everything, turn off night sky, turn off my moon. I'm just going to turn everything off. Let's go back to night sky. All right, that's going to be our background. Let's go back to the moon. How big was that, right? And here's where we can do the thing where we want it to, you know, either rise or you know, we're going to do a little animation with that. Background of trees, let's move that kind of, oops, not moon. Move that into place. Our mid-ground trees. And then our foreground. All of these, I'm going to go and set the registration point down towards the bottom. Background trees towards the bottom. Because what'll happen now is, like with my foreground trees, and I scale it, that's kind of the effect I want, right? You know, we could create all kinds of parallax effects. Might have to put just a little bit extra on that because you don't quite see it. I mean, it's very subtle, but you see kind of, it's just all kind of. My foreground is, can I move my foreground over a bit? Nope, that's the background. There we go. There we go. Get a bit of a independent movement in there. And the moon. Oop. I forgot to set my keyframe. So you have stopwatches on your layers, and you click those, and it'll allow you to set keyframes. So once you have it set, it'll set a keyframe where you want it. You move your playhead, and you can either click the little diamond to create another one, or move whatever attribute you have. I want my moon to go up a bit. And I kind of want it to maybe do a little bit of a bit of a curve as it's going, you know, like with the earth moving. Doesn't move that fast, but you get the picture. So now we've got all our layers. We've got layers. Let's bring in Skelly. We can bring Skelly in, you know. Maybe it's an army of skeletons. You could duplicate him. Oh my God. know, so he can move behind the trees. Pretty little trees. Oh, we can create even another one, right? That, way back there. So there you go. That's kind of basic, you know, layering some Illustrator files, chopping them up so that we can kind of put some motion on him. And so what we'll do, come back tomorrow morning, or catch the video, the replay from tomorrow, where I'll do a little more animation on these guys. And yeah, we'll just have some fun with it. And you know, have your questions ready. We'll answer some more questions. Yeah, I'll make a full pot tomorrow for sure. So, all right, I'm gonna head out. Interfleet, appreciate it. Amazing Peter Gaming as always. Thanks for showing up. Xanthi, the Jazz Show was here earlier. I hope his day ended up, you know, dry for sure. And thank you, Dr. Elo, for coming out. George, of course, so happy to, you know, so happy to be able to, you know, lend you my monotonous voice so that you could code. Tell the Miss Amazing I said hello, and what are we cooking? What are we going to be cooking here soon? What's the next delicacy we're going to see from Miss Amazing? We all want to know. Hopefully it's something truly delicious. I went out, great. He is really cute. I didn't create him, but he is kind of cute. So, last night I went out to, there's a local restaurant, Domo, new Japanese restaurant. Okay, we will have to come and see, and that will be, is that today, right? Tomorrow? Let them know when the next stream is. But Domo's a Japanese restaurant, new Japanese restaurant in town. We had some awesome ramen every Sunday. Yes, it is every Sunday at 12 p.m. CET. Yeah. I think that's Central Standard, right? Central, 12 p.m. Noon my time. And be sure to kind of, you know, look for the hidden Eastern, 12 Eastern. So that will be that. Yeah, that's like 10 my time. Nope. I'll figure it out. Be sure to look for the heart-shaped rice spoon. I'll be looking for that. Domo in town. Awesome ramen noodles. I had the spicy seafood. I mean, whew. I'm still feeling it. I mean, it was really delicious. Okay, folks, thanks for hanging out. We'll finish this up tomorrow, and everybody go out and enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon or evening or whatever it is for you, and we will see you tomorrow. Again, I really appreciate folks stopping by. Thank you, Interfleet, for the buy me a coffee. I really do appreciate that. You know, again, you know, if you find anything of value here, you know, and you do want to support my channel, feel free to, you know, go to buymeacoffee.com/Grimskull and buy my coffee. It's not required, but it's just a great way to kind of support your content creators that you enjoy. But come back tomorrow because we're gonna be finishing this. We're gonna finish this up. So have a good day, everybody. Oops. Yeah, go to the guild too if you want. All right. See ya.